this card that came out of Witchwood, and a lot of people are calling it overpowered, out of control. Oh, it stole a frog. Okay, forget everything that I just said. This card is useless. Don't craft this card. Don't play this card, because it steals frogs. Well, regardless, even if we'd stolen a golem there, this game was over. Druid at 36 armor, with Jade golems that are going to be above 10 attack. There was nothing I could do in this game, even though I had Reno and AoE in hand. Feels bad. Okay, so what are we playing today? We're playing Dane's Shudderwock Reno Shaman on the Wild Mode ladder. So the Witchwood expansion has just hit, and some interesting new legendary cards have come out of it, Shudderwock being one of them. So thank you very much to Dane for this deck. You guys should all check out his YouTube channel and his Twitch stream. He's a phenomenal Wild Mode player, very creative with his decks, and this is one of his creations. So this deck, what's the objective? The objective is to survive till your Shudderwock turn. And of course Shudderwock will play the battle cries that have been played previously in the game. So in terms of battle cries, what have we got in this deck? Well, you have Reno Jackson. It is a Reno deck after all. So if you play Reno, heal to full health. You play Shudderwock, heal to full health. It's pretty cool. You've got some interesting interactions in this deck, some cool combos. I think that's the best way of phrasing it. So you've got cards like Baleful Banker. So with the Banker, you can take a minion on board and shuffle it into your deck. Really good synergy with Reno, obviously. Zola the Gorgon, put a copy of Reno back to your hand. That's pretty awesome too. So you have lots of healing in this deck, you have AoE in this deck as well, Hex too, so ways of controlling the board is pretty good, Hagatha for AoE too, so yes, lots of ways of surviving until your Shudderwock turn, and obviously, you know, there's some good early game in the deck, you have Mistress of Mixtures, you have Doomsayer, so you can combat aggro, and I guess it's just a case of hoping that, you know, that you draw into your healing and your AoE in good time. That's the key. And these games can go on pretty long because it is a Reno deck. So let's start off by looking at our first little game against a rogue. I'm going to keep Reno Jackson in hand. I think it is a sensible keep because it's Reno and he heals you. And we don't know what kind of a rogue this is. It's the first week of the new Witchwood expansion. And you see pirates here, you see patches. So now you're thinking pirate rogue. So if it is pirate rogue, getting rid of his pirates would seem sensible. So Maelstrom Portal there is pretty cool. Ensuring that he's not going to get value on something like a South Sea Captain. But he's got the coin. But no, that's not a captain, that's a Blink Fox. How interesting. So he's going to be playing Shaman cards very shortly. So, happy to control the board here. Deadly Poison. Now, I do have Weapon Destruction in my hand, but I'm not going to play it. Happy to play the How Long Will This Go On card. Because there's going to be other weapons, I assume, in his deck, and there's going to be other weapon buff effects, so we're likely to see Tinker's Oil, and I'd rather use the ooze on, you know, a bigger weapon. Okay, so at the moment, there isn't really much that we can do. I mean, we could just have played the ooze there for a body to get rid of that weapon. But as I say, I'm determined to wait. We have time. We have Reno in hand. So there's the peddler. Now, here's a question for you. What do we do to deal with that? It has 5 attack, 6 health. It's really annoying. So I'm actually going to use Hex. My assumption is that based on what we've seen so far, his deck is going to be running a lot of spells and probably going to be light on minions. So in terms of targets, I think the peddler with 6 health, 5 attack was a good target. It was a big target. It's probably going to be one of the bigger targets in his deck. So I think it was fine to hex it. We've got the banker. We have the banker. We have the Reno. But once again, slow turn. Nothing much to do. And you'll find that a lot with Reno decks. Often it's hero power pass, hero power pass, nothing to do. Wow, Hammer of Twilight. Okay, so that could be an ooze target. That could be an ooze target, but if he swings with the weapon, then it's not an ooze target, because then we're not going to get full value on the weapon destruction. I want to get value, real value on that ooze. Call me greedy. And of course, if we destroy the weapon, he gets a minion on board, which is pretty annoying. Okay. So Elise gives us a pack. We're guaranteed to get some value a bit later down the line. Of course, remember the Elise battle cry does get repeated by the Shudderwock. Now, Sap is a really interesting choice there. Either he knows I'm a Reno deck and therefore wants to put Elise in my hand because he knows I can't play it again, because then 2 packs will be in my deck, therefore Reno can't get me value. So either he's really smart, he's sussed me out, and he's made these next level plays, putting Elise back in my hand, trying to block the Reno, or he just wants to get rid of 5 attack from the board. Okay, Hagatha is a sensible choice here, I think. 3 damage AoE, clears the board. She's got a really awesome entrance as Hagatha. I think this is going to end up being one of my favourite cards, actually, in the game.
You have no idea what I'm capable of.
Wow. Well, that was interesting. It gets Aviana. Okay. So I guess we want to kill Aviana? Question is, how do we do it? So we could play the Rumbling Elemental. We could look for a battlecry minion. Heal bot's fine. See where the 3 damage goes. Oh, 2 damage rather, sorry. Okay, it hits Aviana. That was actually quite lucky. And it buffs the heal bot. Well, no, okay. Even if we'd hit the crab, how many minions is he likely to have in hand? I mean, it's likely to be a handful of spells, right? So I guess it would have been fine either way. There's the Tinker's Oil, which is what I wanted to wait for my ooze. But I assume he's going to use the weapon charge here. I assume he's going to hit my face, or he's going to hit the minion. Hits the minion. Okay, fair enough. Gets a body on board, and decides to heal. Okay. Now, he's running out of cards, he's running out of options. I don't see how we lose this game, honestly. Call it arrogance, call it overconfidence, but look at my hand. Okay, that's not so great. But still, look at my hand. I have Reno. I have the Banker.
Shield.
So we're just playing Sun Fury Protector there. Just for the body on the board and the battle cry effect, which will be replicated by Shudderwock. And look, 2 elemental destructions in hand. Seriously, how do we lose this game? There's a bit of healing. This feels good. I think we may as well just play the ooze now. I'm sick of waiting. He may have another Tinker's Oil. Because he only played 1 Tinker's Oil. I think he's only played 1.
I got this.
We may have another, but it's fine. We play the ooze, we get a body on board. We just speed things up a bit here. Okay. There's a 2-drop with decent stats. See what we get. Okay, get some healing. So, okay. I miscalculated there. I had forgotten that attacking into his taunt is going to freeze the minion, so I was hoping to just windfury it down. That was a misplay on my part. But you know what?
There once
Doesn't
was a
matter.
man from Gilneas.
Honestly, look at this hand. So, regardless of what he does, minion-wise, I think Elemental Destruction's going to clear. Because he's not playing big minions. Okay, I think we just Elemental Destruction here. We have 2 in our hand. We can afford to just throw 1 away. And we just play MC Tech for the body. Oh look, more healing. You know what, I'm just gonna play. It does feel like a bit of a waste. But there was no guarantee that we'd win the joust. And as I say, I'm pretty confident in our ability to win this game with Reno and the Banker in hand.
Was a man from Gilneas.
Do we just Elemental Destruction again? Oh, there he is. There's the Shudderwock.
Who are you?
So Shaku on board is a bit concerning.
We are no one and everyone.
Oh, now that's really concerning. Okay, he's got the echo effect. So
We are no one
he's now looking to get a hand full of legendaries in essence.
We are no one and everyone.
Well, not a handful of legendaries. He just gets 3. But that's still pretty good value. Oh, Blingtron.
We're gonna be rich.
Well, do you know what? I could have Elemental Destruction there, but
Let's stash that away.
I think playing Reno is fine. This is essentially a tempo Reno, but with the Banker. So we've now shuffled a Reno into our deck, so we're going to get some further healing from Reno. So yeah, I could have Elemental Destruction there to guarantee a kill on Shaku, but as I say,
Pick a card.
I'm looking for a slightly bigger Elemental Destruction turn. Alternatively, I'm looking for a guaranteed heal from my 9-drop, which is sitting in hand waiting to be played. Yes. Soon to play the Shudderwock, and we'll get healing from it too. So, We could Elemental Destruction now, because there's Genzo on board. Seems reasonable. Gets rid of the Shaku.
Side effects? No. Trust me.
And again, I do not see how we lose this game. I don't think that whatever value... Ooh dear. Whatever value he got from the Shaku, I don't think it's going to be enough to help him here. I guess what we're more concerned about is the legendary minions that he got. I think there were 3 of them. Now, at 12-12, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. Oh look, more healing. Okay, we're good again. We don't care. Still have really good value in our hand. Well, that's a bit of a problem. How much damage is that? That is 2 windfury minions. Okay, that's a problem. So devolve here seems like a sensible start. We need to get rid of the windfury. That's a bit better. Now, it's at points like this that you start to wish that, oh, you know, maybe I should have been more careful with my healing. Maybe I should have been more careful with my Reno Jackson, not just throw it away as a tempo Reno. You know, I was so obsessed with, you know, buffing the Shudderwock and getting those effects ready for Shudderwock. But, again, we should still be fine. We honestly should still be fine, because we have healing in hand. And we have the Shudderwock. Oh look, Reno. I think it's just time. We have enough cool battlecries. So there's the Reno healing. Feels good. Here's another Shudderwock. This some AoE. Oh look, shuffle one into our deck. Why not? Okay, shuffle a pack. That means we don't get our Reno value. But that's okay. Break a weapon. Get a taunt. Lotheb's effect. Oh, a bit more healing. And some AoE too. Sure, why not? And it's over. So, we played that game poorly. Because I really didn't care. I honestly believed that no matter what happened, that game was going to be won regardless. I was happy to throw away my healing. Happy to play Tempo Reno. But this game is a little bit different. This is a Paladin. This is a dude Paladin with a 1-cost hero power. Against Paladin, you cannot take any chances. However, this deck has plenty of healing. This deck has plenty of AoE. Really and truly, if the stars align, and you draw those cards in the right order, with Reno Jackson, you simply win.
Dark spirits, twist the tree, foul the lake, and curse this land.
And with Hagatha clearing the board more or less, he's out of threats. And I have healing in hand. So, it's very unlikely that he wins this game. Now, we'd already played Reno in this game, but we hadn't drawn the Shudderwock. And this is one of those games where, potentially, you don't even need Shudderwock. You just play your AoE, you play your healing, and that is enough, often, to be aggro. The issue, of course, is that you need to draw your healing, you need to draw your AoE. and sometimes it doesn't happen. You are running one-offs of each card, one copy of each card. So there's no guarantee that you draw what you need at the right time. And that's the drawback of Reno decks. Sometimes you just don't draw Reno Jackson, and then you're sad as you die. So, Dane's Shudderwock Reno Shaman. Really, really fun deck. Incredibly flexible, as I've mentioned before. Healing, AoE, cool battlecries, Blingtron. I mean, what more could you ask for? What more do you need? So, I've gone back and forth with this deck, you know, traversing rank 5 into rank 4, going back to 5. Yeah, it's fun. I think possibly there are some efficiencies that could be gained or looked at in this deck. Maybe, you know, cards like Blingtron, sure, it's a cool, fun card to play. Sure, it gets the battle cry replicated with Shudderwock, but is it truly efficient for a 5-cost card? Okay, maybe there's some synergy with Power Mace because it's a mech. Does it justify it? Is there something else for 5 that we could play, either with a battle cry or without, that's better in that slot? I'd be tempted by Sludge Belcher. There's no battle cry on Belcher, but it's a taunt, it's a double layered taunt, it's solid, it can stop aggro in its tracks. So maybe that's a decent replacement. I'm a massive fan of Hagatha. She has won me games with that AoE and obviously playing minions afterwards where she then gives you spells. Those spells have won me games as well. As you saw previously, getting a second copy of Elemental Destruction, getting lots and lots of healing. It's worked out pretty well for me so far. Shudderwock, my thoughts on it as a card, yes, it's pretty strong. You know, as you've seen here, you know, you've played cards like the Banker, if you've played cards like Zola, getting Shudderwocks back to hand or deck can then be, you know, even more insane. So yeah, Shudderwock is certainly strong, it's just that it can take a very long time to set up, particularly in a Reno deck where you're only playing one copy of each card. The games tend to last a bit longer. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sure some of you have been trying out Shudderwock decks, and if you have, you know, tell me what you've been trying out. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what's been working for you, what hasn't been working for you. It is the first week of the expansion, so people are trying things out, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. So yeah, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys all again very soon for more Wild Mode fun.